Yeah, here we go. Rolling sound, quick.
Action.
Hello, and welcome to Screen Talk, where we talk all things movies and TV. We're your hosts, Richie McGuigan.
And Michael Whip.
If you're someone who loves to talk about movies and TV way too much, this is the place for you. On today's episode, we will be discussing our favorite directors and a few films that they have directed. My favorite director, I would say, would be Christopher Nolan. He's up top three for me. Interstellar, Inception, a few others. Tenet was one that he released around COVID. I remember seeing that when it was just like the first movie out, and
it was
for a while.
It was one of the only ones that like even did well at the box office at that time, I think.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and I was like, wow, that was a Christopher Nolan film. I mean, it was just such a wacky story, but, it got me out because it was a long time.
Yeah.
You cooped up inside during COVID and stuff. And then just recently he released Oppenheimer, which I loved. I wish I saw it more than once, though.
Yeah, I've still only seen it once as well. I wish I saw it at least twice in theaters, but
It was cool because I saw it on one of the biggest screens in the country.
Oh,
I saw
wow.
it in Providence. I was up in Boston for the summer, and I looked up because I heard about these IMAX 70 millimeter
yes,
cameras.
you saw it 70 millimeter, right? Because I know
Yeah.
there's one in Providence.
Yeah. And I drove like an hour or so from where I was at.
Definitely worth it.
And I sat second row, and I was looking up at the screen the entire time. And it was actually a pretty funny story because I had went like the Friday of that week, like the Friday at like 5 p.m. I left work a little bit early, and I drove the whatever amount of time was. It was like rush hour, so it's gonna be like about an hour and 15 to get there. So I got there to theater, and they hadn't started the film like on the time. And apparently those cameras or those projectors aren't like most sturdy, or like they're easily broken.
Yeah, I've seen videos of them setting it up. It's like insane. They have to, it's nuts.
So mine broke.
That's crazy.
So we were sitting there for like 30 minutes. Everyone was like, "What the hell's happening?" And the projector broke, and they gave everyone free tickets to come back. And I came back the next month. I came back the next Monday, I think, because that was the next time that there was tickets available. It sucked because I had such good seats for that Friday. I was like back middle when I could see everything, and it was like wasn't like too overwhelming.
Yeah.
But like then I got the second row middle.
Which is a bit much, obviously.
It was a bit much,
yeah.
Especially how the movie starts, and it's just Oppenheimer's head.
Yeah.
It's an extreme close-up of Oppenheimer's head, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is how the whole thing's gonna be, and I would like to see it again a little further away.
Yeah, I mean, I know they already did re-release it in IMAX for like a week or something. I don't know when, like the end of the summer or something, maybe like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, at some point they do that, obviously, because we were talking about this, but with Interstellar also coming out in 70 millimeter.
Really, they're re-releasing it in that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I had to see that.
Yeah, but I think that's in September or maybe sometime in the fall.
Maybe,
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I definitely want to actually go watch it in 70 millimeter because I didn't even know it was shot like that.
Are you sick of the expensive candy you have to buy for you and your kids at the theater? If so, then for those who are in Greensboro at High Point area, we have just the place for you. The Sweets is a family and locally owned candy store in the same shopping center as the AMC High Point Theater. And if your local theater is the Regal Cinemas in High Point, don't worry, it's only 5 miles from you. With great and inexpensive chocolate bars, homemade peppermints, and much, much more, you will have no other place you'd want to grab your sweets. And every Thursday to Sunday at 5 p.m., they do a raffle where you can win 2 tickets to any movie and a free bag of candy. So get down there and enter for your chance to win, and make sure to bring your sweet tooth. Now, I'm guessing Christopher Nolan's probably one of your top directors too.
Yeah, like I mean, he's up there for sure. There's a lot, obviously. I mean, I think I've told you I even talked about this, I think, on the first episode, where I started a Blu-ray collection, and I have Inception, Tenet, and Interstellar. Yeah, I have all 3 of those on 4K Blu-ray. So I haven't watched Interstellar yet on the TV, and I was planning on doing it some point this summer, but now I'm like,
do you wait until
now
it
do I wait?
releases?
Yeah, or do I watch it and then just wait?
Yeah.
Then rewatch it again a couple months later. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember after I rewatched Interstellar just recently.
Yeah.
I heard that they were re-releasing it, and I was like,
yeah, I know.
damn
it's
it!
like
I wasted my joy of watching it again on my TV at home, and
Yeah,
I could
but-
have waited a couple months to see it.
Yeah, at the same time though, since it's gonna be like if you go do see it in 70 millimeter and like in the theater in IMAX, like it's like a whole new experience on its own.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like it's not necessarily like I still may watch it this summer before and then like have that to look forward to. Then I can kind of compare it, like
Yeah.
see what's different because you obviously notice it more if you just watched it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like I love Dunkirk as well.
Right.
a
Interesting
great
structure
movie.
of that film.
Yeah. Also Memento. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh,
Yeah,
like-
Memento.
Yeah, it was like told in like reverse order or
yeah,
something,
it's
something like that.
It's like told forward and backwards at the same
Yeah.
time, and then I've seen a video of him like breaking down how he like came up with the idea, which for all of his movies, it's always crazy to see, but like it's like the two storylines are going at the same time,
Yeah.
and then
And like all the tattoos
it's-
mean something,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and then at the like one point the storylines finally intersect and it's like the beginning of the movie and it's also the end of the movie. It's like
Yeah.
pretty nuts. I don't
Yeah.
even know how you come up with something like
And
that,
then
but
there's another one. It's the Magician one,
yeah, The Prestige.
The
Yeah.
Prestige. I've watched that one 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember I've seen it a few times and not more recently than this, but just like that was a movie I saw when I was really young that was like
Yeah.
I was like that was stuck in my head for a long
Yeah.
time.
That's one of the
Like, it was a
top
movie I thought
movies
about a
with
lot.
with like the good twist at
Yeah.
the end.
Oh,
And
yeah,
after
one of
you
the-
know, I love
one
watching
of
it
the
over.
craziest twists ever.
Yeah. I love watching it over and seeing like what
Yeah.
actually was occurring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You pick up on the things that like that's what's great about movies with a good twist is like it's a lot of rewatchability and it's like
Yeah.
it's a whole new movie basically when you're watching it
Right.
the second time.
Yeah, because you can see the different things that are happening.
Yeah. But yeah, love Christopher Nolan. I mean, but yeah, I mean, God, it's kind of hard to narrow down which my favorite all-time director is. There was a point where like Tarantino was my favorite. I still love his movies.
Right.
I don't know. I love David Lynch. I think I mentioned one of his movies. He's a pretty weird director. I don't know if you ever heard of the show Twin Peaks.
I have not.
Okay, but maybe he. So you know what's actually funny is he did the original Dune, the one in the '80s, that
Oh,
like
yeah.
is considered pretty bad, and that's a lot of times considered like his worst movie. He considers it bad. I still want to watch it just because like I like his style, and I think there's still things about it that are good.
Yeah.
But I think it was just a little goofy, and that it's just funny because now that's like resurfacing because of Dune Part 2 and
Yeah.
everything, and like it's not a movie like that a ton of people know about. But then he did like Mulholland Drive, and I don't know if you've heard of that or Blue Velvet.
No, I have
and-
not.
But those are some of my favorite movies. But to focus on like some other directors that you definitely know some of their movies, like the Coen brothers, you know, like No
Yeah.
Country for Old Men. Yeah, and recently I've been rewatching a couple of their movies, and they've always been like top 5 director for me. Like Fargo is one of my favorite movies. Big Lebowski is probably my favorite. But yeah, they're known for like making like I don't even know how to phrase it, but like anti-plot films or like films that, which is why they're so highly regarded, that like do exactly what you wouldn't expect and then like kind of leave you like, what the hell did I just watch?
Right.
Like, have you seen No Country for Old Men?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have to watch. That's on my.
Yeah.
I have a list of movies that I need to watch.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
on there.
yeah. I mean, it's an insane movie and it's intense and the acting's crazy.
Josh
and it just,
Brolin's in that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And it just kind of like, without saying anything about it, it's just like a movie you're like, damn, like I've never really seen a movie made like that. And I mean, now maybe more movies since that's come out have followed that sort of story structure, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I think usually the Big Lebowski, Fargo, and that are considered their best. But I watched one recently, Inside Llewyn Davis, or I'd seen it already, but I rewatched it. And then Burn After Reading's good, and Miller's Crossing, Blood Simple, their first film was already like, you can tell they just had such a good grasp on how to make a movie, and like stylistically, it's like they obviously have great cinematography and they know what they're doing. Like you could tell like. That's always a good sign when you watch someone's first movie and it's like
Yeah.
really good already. So you know that
Yeah.
like they're gonna keep doing good. Yeah, I mean they've made like I don't know, like 15 movies together, and pretty much all of them are pretty great. There's a couple that aren't amazing. Like I never saw Hail Caesar. I heard that wasn't the best, and The Lady Killers. I don't know, like I've seen like parts of that one, but I don't know. They always just like have a really good grasp on the dark comedy aspect, and like having relatable moments where it's just like frustrating characters who just are like so stupid, and I feel like they always capture that really well. So yeah, for that reason, I think they're definitely up there for one of my favorites, and like yeah, some of my favorite movies of all time.
Cool.
By them. So yeah.
Well, there you have it. Those are our favorite directors and some films that they have directed and have hit home with us. Thank you for listening. It truly means the world to us that you take the time to listen to us ramble on about movies. For more info, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And cut.